Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Health with Dr. Laz, your favorite health program on television. Reaching you from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. My name is Dr. Laz Eze. We'll be talking health. I'll also talk about some critical health issues you must note when you're in your 40s, especially as it has to do with females. Of course, everyone, both male and female, the older we get, there are some health conditions that are more associated with age, especially 40 and above, both male and female. So because these 40 and fabulous women will be very specific about those things we need to know about our health. So how do I start? Who goes first? Now we go with conversation or interaction. So just feel free. Any health issue you want us to talk about?
Blood pressure. Are you in my mind?
Okay, you say blood pressure. Okay, what about blood pressure? What do you want to know about it?
Sometimes we hear that it's hereditary, and sometimes people just develop it through stress or too much thinking or lack of feeding and all that.
Okay.
So I actually just want to know what is the basic.
Yes, today's show, we're bringing it from the Talk Health Nigeria studio. Yes, still under development, but of course, good enough to bring the show today. And today's show is somewhat special because it's about 40 and fabulous, and of course, the health benefits and implications for the participants and the housemates. 40 and fabulous grand finale held a couple of days ago, and the show essentially was meant to uplift skillful and talented women aged 40 years and above, but who are weighed down by psychosocial challenges as well as financial constraints. Talk Health Nigeria is a key supporter of the program, and I was at the house, and that was what you just watched, where I talked health with the housemates. And today we are going to be bringing the health discussions we had on the sidelines of the grand finale here in Abuja. You're going to see the interview I had with the director of 40 and Fabulous reality TV show, as well as a representative of one of the key sponsors, but that's going to be after the break. Do stay with us. Forty and Fabulous brought 10 women in their 40s, and I learned part of the consideration in selecting the housemates was those who are having some psychosocial challenges, and this show was meant, to help them out of the situation. Why did you think along that direction? When I say you, I'm talking about the production team
itself. Yeah. Well, 40 and Fabulous project is not just a project, that is geared towards giving you entertainment.
Right.
40 and Fabulous is a project that is designed to heal especially the women folks. And then we targeted women above 40 years because we know that with the financial challenges, the economic challenges in Nigeria these days, you find that most homes, before you know, they are broken already, and right. Women are more affected. So, and women within this age bracket, when they get affected, especially matrimonially, they begin to feel some sort of depression. And most of them have some things in mind which they desire to do even before they got married. But because of the socio-economic challenge in Nigeria and religion also, it didn't allow them to do so much, especially the skills that they ever dreamed to do. So we created this platform for them to come and actually express themselves and get that self-relaxation, right, which is also connected to health psychologically.
Psychological health.
Exactly.
Okay. During in the house, there's this mother's nest.
Okay.
Where they talk to the mother model, share their problems. Was it part of those ways to share their challenges and get some kind of relief?
Yes, it is, absolutely. Because just like I said before, most of these women are broken already. Some, broken marriages, some lost their children, some couldn't give birth, some you know,
So
all
they
manner
actually have a lot of psychological
yeah. So now that mother's nest in Forte and Fabulous was designed to talk to them about it. That's where you come, you open up without concealing anything.
Right.
The mother now weighs your problem, gives you the moral kind of advice, you understand, which in turn helps you get out of your depression.
Right.
Because I know that when you talk about your problem, when you put them out, you understand, it gives you some sort of relief, which also contributes to the good health of, you know, the contestant himself. Now, when mother finishes with the talk therapy, let me put it that way, he now recommends them to meet specialists who now begin to attend, yes, you know, okay, which takes, you know, of course you should know better, a longer time,
right,
but for that short period to make them feel, you know, like they are still part of the society. Mother talks them out of their challenges.
Okay, that sounds good. So would you say, as the director of this show, that you observe significantly improvements in their social well-being or their psychological well-being within this period?
Yes, greatly, because I remember the first week when they came into the house, they were all, you know, they were all withdrawn. You understand? They are all in their different sectors. They weren't interacting at all. Right. And most of them, you know, are still going through the torture they passed through. You understand? Now, I discovered that as they go through this mother's nest therapy, they begin to easen up. They begin to talk. Now, it taught me a whole lot that when you speak out your problem, you get some sort of relief.
When you are 40, you already bear a lot of burden, a lot of experiences, a lot of things that are weighing you down. But then if we must start living from 40, it means we have to shed some loads. We have to unburden ourselves. And I think the platform provided some of these women an opportunity to tell their stories. And they say once a story shared is half solved. And by so doing, some of them could now begin to look at themselves as having an opportunity to take another shot at life. Right. The session where they interacted with the mother's nest provided a cathartic platform for them to share some tears. Personally, even though I was working with the crew and also supervising one or two things, at some point when these women tell you what they've gone through in life, you cannot but also cry with them. But in the midst of crying, in the middle of crying, all within, they'll find another reason to live. They'll find another reason to forge ahead.
Yes, that was some of the organizers of the show, the director and a representative of one of the sponsors, talking about the importance of that show on the psychosocial well-being of the housemates and as well as potentially the viewers. Of course, you know that health is a total state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And that's why we are bringing that aspect on the show. On the sideline of the program, we talked with some persons, and in fact, I asked them to ask direct questions on health issues of interest to them. So in that case, they were the ones interviewing, and I was the one responding. So you may want to catch a glimpse of the health issues we talked about.
Okay, my question is this. I've seen so many ladies that normally have breast discharge, and it's not like they are pregnant, because normally they say when a lady breast starts bringing out discharge, it means she's pregnant. But in this case, the person is not pregnant. So I want to know if it's ordinary or it has anything to do with health, like if it's normal or not, and if it happens, is there any remedy for it?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, when there is a nipple discharge or breast discharge, it could connote a lot of things. Just by having a discharge alone doesn't suggest a specific diagnosis. So it means you have to find out what is causing the discharge. So sometimes it could be hormonal imbalance. If you have prolactin, which is a hormone that helps in milk production, if it's above normal, it could lead to breast discharge, right? Sometimes it could also be a sign of cancer of the breast. So you could also, like you mentioned, people who are pregnant, who the body is already preparing. But most times it's after delivery, there could be breast discharge. But what's important is for anyone that finds out such, should go to a hospital and is going to be checked. A number of investigations could be done. We could do hormonal profile. We could also check, do breast examination to know actually what is causing the discharge.
What I really want you to talk about is at a certain time, some people immediately you finish eating, then you start having running stomach. Not that you are actually purging, but immediately you finish eating, you just like 15 minutes to start having running stomach. So some of them, if you go to pharmacy to go and complain, they will tell you to take medicine for purging. But I haven't taken that a lot of time. It will not still work. So I don't know if there's any advice pertaining that. Because I've had a lot of my friends complain a lot.
Yes, it's not normal to just be purging or to have passing watery stool, if it's what you mean by running stomach. So it could be a sign of gastroenteritis. Gastroenteritis is, you can also sometimes say food poisoning. Food poisoning doesn't mean that they poison someone's food.
Okay.
It just suggests that there's something in the food that the body is not comfortable with and is reacting to it. Just as if pepper enter your throat, they begin to cough. Sometimes if you have pepper in the air, you sneeze. That is a mechanism through the body wants to push it out because it irritates it. So if you have, sometimes it could be an infection, it could be a form of bacteria, it could be another substance, a chemical substance that is too much in the food. So whatever it is, the body wants to get it out. So a lot of times it may not be something that you take medications for. So but it's good to see a doctor. It could be dysentery, it could be cholera, and that can kill. So when you have persons stooling many times, you have to could take ORS, oral rehydration solution, because it has some electrolytes like sodium and chlorine that the body is losing. So when you drink it, it helps to replace it.
I've been doing your program in the TV, and today I have an opportunity to meet you one-on-one.
Thank you, sir.
I want to know about heart problem, because it's too numerous in this country now.
Okay, so you want to know about heart problem. The heart problem can come in different ways. You have those heart diseases that are coming from the heart directly. They are called cardiomyopathies. The medical name, don't bother so much about that. So, and you also have other diseases that outside the heart but affect the heart. But the commonest cause of health condition that affects the heart is hypertension. What do you know about hypertension?
Well, as to my own little understanding, hypertension is because of what you think, what bothering you, and maybe you don't have a solution to it. You have a sleepless night. You can't sleep well. You cannot do anything because you are thinking too much. It's one of those who are causing hypertension.
Okay, so that's what a lot of persons think. But hypertension, in over 90% of cases, the cause is unknown. You have what we call primary hypertension, you have secondary hypertension. So the primary one is also known as essential hypertension. So it's not from thinking. A lot of people think that it's from thinking or from being worried that people have hypertension. In most of the cases, it's not true. Of course, when you're thinking and you have anxiety, the blood pressure may rise, but when you relax, it comes back to normal. So the only way people will know that they are hypertensive is when they check their blood pressure. That's why, if you are, especially for those who are 40 years and above, you go for medical checkups, at least once in a year. Some can even do more than once, but at least once in a year. They will check your blood pressure, they will check your blood sugar, they will check so many things in the body. They will listen to your heart. So there's a way the heart will be beating, then you know that there's a problem in the heart. That's why the doctor, when they are checking your BP, they are moving the distance from one part of the chest to another. So that's the way from the heartbeat you even notice before it begins to cause other problems. Sometimes people's legs are swollen. That can also come from when the heart is having problem. So if hypertension is not treated on time, or you don't start treatment on time, then it can make the heart to fail. And that's what is called heart failure. Diabetes may also affect the heart, and may even lead to what we call coronary heart disease. And you also have the disease of the heart muscles. You could have infection of the valves of the heart, or even the linings of the heart that is called endocarditis. There are so many of them.
The question I would like to ask you regarding health issues is, I've discovered that a lot of women go through challenges during delivering. Most people, they'll go into into labor, and then within a short period of time they've given birth, while some will prolong their dilation and all that. So I've been so worried. Why is it that it's so easy for some people, why for some people it's so difficult for them to give birth? Thank you, that's just my question.
Okay, that's a very good question. Issues that have to do with pregnancy and labor is one miracle God does, that even medical science can't explain everything about it. So, but the beautiful thing is that as our faces are different, so our pregnancy history and issues can be different. So, and that's why it's handled on case by case basis. So our health is, the human body is complex. So that's why we say people should go for antenatal care. From antenatal care, you'll be able to know the person's indices, you'll be able to follow the person through. Even during childbirth, you monitor it. Whatever you see, you attend to it. So some may just go and deliver, no problem. Some might be slower. If you identify it, the good news is there are medical solutions to it. Those that are slow, there are medications you can give and make it to progress faster. Those that are not dilating, there are medications you can give and make the dilation to happen. And if after every of those interventions is not progressing, you also have the option of cesarean section. What is most important is the baby comes out alive and well, and the mother is also alive and well.
Particularly, I want you to talk about the eye.
Eye?
Yes. I am certain about it because it's raining season and most times my eye itches. I get to itch it, and when I do that, it turns red. So I'd like to know what your piece of advice would be to me concerning my eye and every other person who's there.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, the eye is a very special organ with which you use to see and do a lot of things. So when you have the eye that itches, perhaps turns red and all of that, it could be a sign of conjunctivitis. There are a lot of conditions that could affect the eyes, depending on age. For children, they may have certain conditions. Adults have those that are more common. And for those who are 40 and above, I'm saying this because this is a 40 and fabulous show, the commonest eye condition they could have is presbyopia. Presbyopia is when you are getting older, there are some muscles of the eyes that tend to get weaker. Okay. So some things that you may need to move an object further to be able to read them. So that's presbyopia. But the general advisory is, if your eye is itching you or paining you, or have watery eyes and all of that, it's good to see an optometrist or see an ophthalmologist, so that they will examine and know specifically what it is. Because there are different health conditions that may actually present that way. So whichever one, don't just go and buy any eye drop, because eye drops are different drugs who come in form of eye drop. There is the genticin, there is chloramphenicol, there are so many of them. So what people do is they just go and buy eye drop and start putting. Sometimes they may actually cause more damage.
What are the vital signs for 40, a man who is at his 40 and a lady who is at his 40 should be able to check always?
Okay, thank you very much. So there are a lot of health checks. Let me start with that of men. If you are 40 and above, you begin to check for prostate-specific antigen, because men who are 40 and above have higher chance of having prostate enlargement or prostate cancer, as the case may be. So the prostate-specific antigen that is called PSA, the normal range is 0 to 4. If it's more than 4, then you may begin to check what it is. So because only men have prostates. Of course, for women, they have to do mammography, they have to check their breast. If they find a lump, they will have to investigate, to know if it's breast cancer. You have to check your blood pressure. You have to do general body check at least once in a year. So blood pressure, because hypertension is also more common, especially from age 40 years and above, both male and female. We also have to check for blood sugar, because type 2 diabetes mellitus, is also commoner among people who are 40 years and above. At Talk Health Nigeria, we want to use the simplest possible language to talk about health, so that whoever is listening or watching, will be able to relate. Hypertension is when the blood pressure is high. Then what do we mean by blood pressure being high? Let me try to describe using the anatomy and the physiology of the body system. We have the heart.
Right.
We have the brain. So you have blood vessels, which are like pipes that is all over the body. You have the big ones, you have the small ones, you have very tiny ones. Every part of our body has blood reaching it. Welcome back to TalkingHealthWithDrLaz, your favorite health program on television. Yes, in the conclusive part, I'll be talking with T. Benz and Calvin, of the Creative Brothers. I do call them uncommon dancers, and they talk health with me on the sideline of 40 and Fabulous. Do watch. Yes, I'm right here on the sideline of 40 and Fabulous reality show, the grand finale at Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. And with me are the Creative Brothers. Creative Brothers. So these guys are so amazing. I usually say that their body is like rubber. They can turn their face upside down. Very amazing show they displayed there. And I'll be asking you how you were able to train your body to be so flexible that you could do something that can only be imagined by a lot of persons. So let me start from you.
Okay, everything is all about basics. The basics, we start by reducing our food limits. Yeah, we stop eating some things like swallow, all this hefty food, or maybe we eat and want to get filled. Even though we want to eat, we just eat little. So that things make us to reduce the fat in us, and we work harder, bending, go through a lot of pains in bend. Even along the line, we broke our arms, broke our neck, but we still don't give up, because we just want to get to that particular place in which we are now. But we believe that the sky is still our starting point.
Absolutely. And breaking neck, breaking hands, how does that feel? Okay, you sustained injuries in the process of practicing for this?
Yes, a lot.
So how do you get treated?
Health is wealth. So whenever we get injury or we get dislocated, we always go for treatment. Yeah, to make sure that we are fit back on our more regular physical.
Right.
So then we go back for rehearsal again, go back for more practice.
Okay, yeah. You said something very instructive, and I think for those who are doing fitness things, they need to know that nutrition, that you don't just eat anyhow, because you have to maintain to ensure that you don't have a lot of fat in the body.
I want to ask, why really our hospital is not working? Why is it not working?
Right, that's a very good question. You don't collect mic, you are now the interviewer. Okay, so our hospital is not working for many reasons. There are 6 building blocks of the health system. We have human resource for health, which is the staff. So we have to have them in the right numbers, You have to have the different cadres employed and in a very good, well-motivated condition to work. Number 2, health financing. You have to put enough money to fund health, and also expect returns on investment. The returns could be in form of money, it could be in form of wellness, it could be in form of people being better. So we should put at least 15% of our budgets, whether at the country level, national level, or at the state level, or at the local government level, 15% at the minimum to health and funding the right things within the health sector. Number 3 is medical supplies, drugs, vaccines, and all of that. So we need to have them in the right quantity, at the right price, in the right conditions, and at the right time, and the right products for that matter, to ensure that we don't have stock out of drugs. We produce our drugs locally and all of that. Number 4 is leadership and governance. You need to have health committees at the village level, community level, and all of that. And you need to have the right leadership to supervise health and ensure that things are working. Then service delivery. Service delivery speaks to the quality of services that are being provided and all of that. So those are very important. Then health management information system, that speaks to data. These are like the blocks. So when all of them are optimal, when all of them are doing very well, when there's strong political will, when there are the right people, when patients ask the right questions, when everybody, individuals, communities, government play their part, then our hospitals begin to work. Abuja's top comedian Nick B essentially took over the mic from me and now took over the interview essentially. I thank you for watching. That's the much we can take today. I really congratulate all the housemates, especially the winner, Dr. Jane Watson, and the entire production crew. We hope to be part of this in the next edition, and we keep talking health everywhere you go. My name is Dr. Laz Eze. Got you same station, same time next week. Bye for now.